Long gone are the days when companies from rich countries ignorantly sought to sell their standardized products to poor customers in less developed countries. Without knowing the local customs, norms, and habits, these foreign companies discovered that failure was indeed certain. Today, foreign companies try to build deep local expertise in every country they serve. They blend into their local surroundings. By blending in, they are able to get the knowledge they need to effectively innovate for poor customers. For instance, Samsung Electronics sends some of its workers on a 12 to 18-month assignment to become regional experts. Employees live in a foreign country, learn some of the language and customs, and discover as many customer insights as possible. During this assignment, the employees have no formal tasks, but rather are to become experts in the local economy. Likewise, when Unilever, maker of Noxzema skin cleaner and Axe body spray, sought to build successful operations in rural India, the company took a team of top executives and dropped them into a rural Indian village. They were there for a month with the goal to learn and think and feel like the rural poor. They were to discover what it means to live in an environment different from that of their typical customers and what it means to have little money and even fewer products to buy. The team learned a great deal and built, from the ground up, a new sales and distribution approach centered on the women of the village. The results for Unilever have been exceptional. Deep local expertise would seem to be the cure-all for today's foreign companies selling to the local poor. But research provides a cautionary note. While deep local expertise is a key element of successful product innovation for poor customers in developing countries, it is not the only element. Rather, successful innovation in developing countries requires a reciprocal understanding, a tie that links the local experts to the global company. The expert knowledge must be bidirectional, with the global company understanding the local environment and the local leadership understanding the global resources. But this is not as simple as it seems. 3 counterintuitive lessons emerge that foreign companies do well to observe when trying to develop new and valued products for poor customers in developing countries. Lesson 1 is that knowledge innovations for the underserved poor are more likely to result from foreign knowledge than local knowledge. Local expertise can blind the firm to global solutions. It's a common belief that innovating for underserved local markets comes from an increased understanding of the unique local environment. In a foreign company, employees need to connect with local governments, communities, and customers to identify unique local problems. But recognizing these problems does not necessarily help companies identify solutions. In fact, their local expertise often hinders an optimal solution. With a deep understanding of local circumstances, companies may begin to perceive that their situation is starkly unique and that solving local problems will require the development of a novel solution. Their deep understanding of local circumstances blinds them to the ideas that might be helpful from outside their local environment. For instance, let's examine a potential business model for a subsidiary in Peru focused on developing export opportunities for the harvesting of poison dart frogs as pets to children in the US and Europe. It turns out the frogs lose their toxicity once removed from the forest, and they make great colorful pets. The problem this subsidiary faces is how to harvest and ship these poison dart frogs to Europe and the United States. Now you may ask, where can I find a solution to such a unique and locally specific problem? At first glance, it would appear that you would have to develop a novel solution from the ground up. After all, what business model could be similar to poison dart frog exportation? The answer for the subsidiary was Indonesian seaweed farming. Somewhat surprising, these 2 projects were structurally similar, in that both involved an international agricultural classification and exportation scheme. Without deep understanding of the company's total global knowledge, the Peruvian subsidiary may have reinvented the solution to the agricultural export problem, wasting countless hours and resources in the process. Ironically, the solutions to locally recognized problems requires that employees turn to knowledge from technologies, designs, and systems created outside of their local mandate. A myopic local focus, even an expert one, limits the company's ability to find innovative solutions developed in other parts of the company. Going to others within the company but outside the local context allows companies to understand valuable principles behind a product, service, or system that may help to formulate an innovative solution to a problem that the local market has not been able to solve. This leads us to Lesson 2. Lesson 2 is to emphasize principles over templates. Local innovations are more likely to result from knowledge principles than knowledge templates. Knowledge principles highlight why certain tasks are effective, and they enable users to share relevant causal associations to new contexts and situations. Principles represent key success or failure factors. They prioritize and impart broad comprehension of the major cause and effect relationships that must be captured for successful learning. In contrast to principles, much of what occurs in today's multinational companies is focused on capturing and sharing template-type knowledge. Templates demonstrate what operations entail. They convey basic, process-based knowledge and provide detailed forms for local subsidiaries to emulate. Offering a variety of successful examples and characterized by rich detail, templates are particularly useful for companies seeking to overcome challenges associated with cause-effect relationships. For example, what is it exactly that makes McDonald's effective? If we don't know, then the template found in manuals and blueprints highlights in detail each step of a given process and how to complete it. Both templates and principles have proven to be successful tools for company learning. However, the way these tools are used by companies to solve problems relevant to the local market may be highly relevant to achieving innovations for the poor. Because principles represent a more general form of learning than templates, company subsidiaries in developing countries are more likely to find value by drawing on the principles related to a technology, design, or system. Taking a principle-based approach, therefore, provides significant flexibility in determining how to adapt foreign knowledge to the local environment. Principles provide for a fluid learning experience, enabling the user to forego reliance on rigid information sets in favor of directing energy toward adaptation. For instance, companies like Novotel Hotels and IKEA furniture stores purposely moved away from rigid templates in favor of a principles-based, lessons-learned approach. This principles-based approach enabled them to change existing products and services without destroying what was universally valuable about the product in the first place. Nearly everybody likes IKEA's Swedish food, but some of it needed to be adapted to local preferences. Furthermore, principles provide a more general framework for future innovations by enabling companies to transfer crucial information about the past success or failure of various products. Ultimately, principle-based knowledge allows employees to understand why certain actions should be taken and how to effectively implement a unique solution in a unique environment. But not all employees are good at applying principles to their innovation efforts. The third lesson relates to the experience of the employees. Employees in developing markets are more receptive to principles when they have both local and global experience. When it comes to innovations for the poor, employees in developing countries face two key challenges: how to effectively access foreign knowledge and how to apply that knowledge in a local context. Effective innovation often depends on accomplishing both of these tasks simultaneously. To be able to effectively draw on and implement principles, employees need to possess high levels of local and global experience. Local experience creates understanding of the local context and helps employees recognize needs of the local poor. For example, one regional manager said, "Creating knowledge is typically a bottom-up approach, generated from the local employees who are entrenched in the local context. Global experience generates understanding of the global economy and why patterns of knowledge differ across countries." Local and global experience function synergistically, with globalism increasing employees' willingness and ability to access external knowledge, and local experience enabling effective implementation of that knowledge. Finally, a company's investments in employee experience may indirectly impact local innovations. Rather than make these isolated investments, then, firms should undertake a combined strategy that prioritizes access to both local and global experience. This will improve the likelihood of employees utilizing globally dispersed sources of knowledge principles. While these efforts may not be easy, they are likely to create a climate for innovation in underserved customer markets.